Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing my 2021 AFL Finals predictions. So yeah, we'll get right into it. So Brisbane just snuck into the top four, so they're pretty lucky there off of Lincoln McCarthy's behind, and then Charlie Cameron's goal finished it off. But yeah, we'll see if they can win the grand final off of that. I don't think they can, but yeah. We'll just get into the whole finals predictions. I'll tell you who I think will win the grand final, who will win each game, and let's get right into it. Okay, so the first game is Melbourne versus Brisbane at the MCG. Well, Brisbane, yeah, they're in the top four, so whoever wins this will go to the prelim, whoever loses will still go through to the semi. Well, I reckon it would be a pretty close game, but I'm still going to have to go Melbourne. Yeah, just because I think they're a bit of a better side. They've been pretty consistent this year. And Brisbane, they're like a just top four side. So it's almost like as if they're a top five side, but not really a top four, because they only just made the top four. But yeah, I think it'll be pretty close, but we'll see, and I just think Melbourne will win. So I'll put the score up, and I will have put the ladder up just to show you what I think the score will be each game. But moving on, we have the Bulldogs against Essendon in the elimination final one. Essendon, they in the last few rounds they were really good. They beat the Bulldogs a couple of weeks ago. So can they do the same thing? Well, I honestly don't think so. I think it's at Marvel Stadium, but it doesn't really matter either way because Marvel Stadium is both of their home grounds. But I just think the Bulldogs will win wherever it'll be. I think given their last few weeks were really terrible, their loss to Port, well, it wasn't that bad, but they lost to the Hawks and Essendon. Yeah, I think they're looking to improve, especially when it's the most important time. So yeah, I think the Bulldogs will win that game and Essendon will be knocked out. Next game is Sydney against GWS. And so both Sydney sides, SCG, you got to go Sydney because, well, yeah, just there's going to be no crowd there, but I think either way, Giants aren't super comfortable with how they made the finals. You can only know if you're super comfortable with how you made the finals if you don't ever have to depend on the other results. I mean, the Giants already won to Carlton, so they were going to win it. They were going to make it either way, but still, I just think Sydney are a better side. They finished 6th, I think it was, yeah. And Sydney have beaten really good sides. They could be in the top 4 right now, but yeah. Sydney, they're going to beat the Giants and they'll move through to the semi. Giants will get knocked out. Next game, Port versus Geelong at the Adelaide Oval. By the way, I've just been playing some AFL Evolution to do my own results, but these are my proper predictions. And Melbourne beat Brisbane by less than a goal, and Port beat Geelong by less than a goal as well. Well, given that they were really unlucky not to be the minor premiers last week, I think they're not going to want to lose this game because playing against Port at the Adelaide Oval is a lot harder than playing against Brisbane at GMHBA. And even though that, I think they're still going to come out as hard as they possibly can, win the game and go through to the prelim. Port will have to go through to the semi and work harder. So now we're into the semi-finals, and it is Brisbane against the Bulldogs at the Gabba, and you gotta go Brisbane. Like, they're just too hard to beat at the Gabba. The Bulldogs it's crazy to think they were top of the ladder the entire season, and they didn't even make the top 4. That's all right though. Maybe next year, you never know. I don't think they can go, and I think they're gonna. I don't think it's almost impossible to do a 2016 because I think they were really lucky that year. Other than that year, I can't remember the last time a team that didn't finish top 4 won the grand final, and I just think Brisbane will win. It's at the Gabba. They can still allow a massive crowd there. There's just every reason to go for Brisbane. I think everyone else will be going for Brisbane if they have predicted that the game will be like that. Port versus Sydney at the Adelaide Oval. Port. There's not that much to explain about that. I just think Port are a bit of a better side, especially at the Adelaide Oval, in front of a fair bit of crowd. They're good at is it just me, or is it true that they're good with night games? I don't know. But either way, I think they're just going to win. Melbourne versus Port Adelaide. So they're playing 2 games in a report. At the MCG, this is one of the hardest games you can predict all season. First versus second in a final. Well, I've gone Melbourne. Because if it was at the Adelaide Oval, I would have gone Port. I'm not saying that Port won't play well at the MCG. It's just I think Melbourne are a better side at the MCG, and I guess Port aren't really that used to no crowds, but I just think Melbourne will win. They've been really good throughout the year, and they just came off a week break, so they're going to go through to the grand final. Port, after all their hard work this season, are sadly going to have to get knocked out. But yeah, so moving on to the preliminary final, number 2, Geelong against Brisbane, GMHBA. I just think that no one can beat Geelong at GMHBA. I just think no one can beat Geelong at GMHBA, except only a few teams a year. And even though Brisbane are a really good side, I just think it may be Geelong's time to shine this year, but we'll find out. So Geelong go through to the grand final. Port Adelaide go through to the grand final. Melbourne go through to the grand final. And let's find out who will win the AFL 2021 really weird season grand final. Alright, so Melbourne against Geelong at the MCG. Earlier on this season, Melbourne beat Geelong by 25 points before anyone knew how good Melbourne were going to be this year. That put them, I think, 4-0? 4-0? Yeah, I think so. Maybe 5-0, I don't know. But yeah, big game. You can never not say that for a grand final, no matter who the teams are. Melbourne versus Geelong, MCG. Geelong, their second home ground is at the MCG. I guess any team knows how to play at the MCG because all games are played there a lot. But yeah, I am going to predict the quarter time score, the half time score, the 3/4 time score, and the full time score. So the quarter time score, I think it will be really, really close. It will be one of those West Coast vs Collingwood grand finals, Dom Sheed. Quarter time, I'll go Melbourne 3-1-19 to Geelong 3-0 18. So 18-19 quarter time, half time. it will be Melbourne taking a bit more of a lead. I'll say, I haven't planned this, so I'm gonna go 45 to 37. And 3/4 time, I'll go 75 to 75. So like in the 2018 Grand Final, it would be whoever wins the last quarter will win the entire season. And the team that wins the entire season will be Geelong. Just because they had a really disappointing season, especially against Melbourne just before, 44 points down to win the game, become minor premiers. Well, Geelong will have come down to be major premiers, massive payback. So that's my predictions. Geelong 2021 premiers. I'll do a lot of editing on this video, but thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.